Hello YouTube, Nate here. It's been a while. There's a reason why I'm doing this, and it's a little late to let it all soak in. My thoughts of WrestleMania 40. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the matches. I have my own personal belts, so they're not going to match WWE at all. But the ones I have will represent for the title, for the matches of the titles that were defended. So, night one. Let's see. Sorry, I gotta look. I wrote it down. Rhea Ripley versus Becky for the World Women's title. And since I don't have that, this right here will represent, for my channel at this moment, the World Women's title. So, it was an awesome match. Felt bad for Becky with the illness of some sort and a fever and all that. So, Becky, you did an awesome job as it is anyways. So, and if you have not seen WrestleMania, sorry, you're going to get spoilers. So, it was Rhea Ripley versus Becky, and Becky earned this opportunity at Elimination Chamber to face Rhea for the title. Like I said, this is obviously not the World Women's title, but for now, it's going to represent it. And quite frankly, it's still really beat up, missing stuff right in here, but still a gorgeous belt, in my opinion. So, the match, I would have to give it out of 5 stars. Saying much, and I could get disagreed on or whatever, but it's my opinion, 2.5 stars. And the winner of the match, Rhea. She retained the title. Congrats to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 40. And she was the first member of Judgment Day to start off WrestleMania. Then the next match was the 6-pack ladder match. Judgment Day versus New Day versus DIY versus New Catch Republic, A-Town Down Under, and Awesome Truth. And I may not have their version of the SmackDown and Raw tag titles. But if you paid attention to my last video, I'm the original undisputed tag team champ. So Finn and Priest had to go up against 5 other competitors for their tag titles, which quite frankly I still say mine are better. And it was awesome. I enjoyed that match. Kind of like how they ended it. One person downright made it funny. Always does, no matter where he goes. R-Truth. He actually was looking for a tag from The Miz. A tag in a ladder match. So, he got the tag, which, bizarre, funny. And the only way for this 6-pack ladder match to end is when both titles were retrieved. So, awesome match. The participants did awesome. One team I don't care for, and I think they just started, was Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I could care less about those guys. But sadly, they ended up winning the tag team titles for SmackDown. And I think Grayson got taken out of the rest of the match. So that just leaves the Raw tag team titles. And everyone was jockeying position for that and all this. I honestly wanted R-Truth to get his WrestleMania moment since he's been 0 wins and 7 losses at Mania. He was due. And come to find out, Awesome Truth comes out the Raw tag team titles. Congrats, you guys. Well deserved. And Judgment Day was involved in that match too. And I told my mom, because we were watching it, I told her, I'm like, it will be funny if the next match, Dominic was involved to complete the whole Judgment Day. And eventually, in that ladder match too, JD McDonough got involved and got sent through the table. So he was not going to be appearing in the third match, which happened to be Rey Mysterio and Andrade taking on Santos Escobar and Dominic. But before I get to that, the rating on that ladder match, out of 5 stars, I have to go 3. You could agree or disagree with me, but also leave your comments on those, because I want to find out what your guys' thoughts are on the scale of a 5-star rating on the matches. Back to Rey, Andrade taking on Santos and Dominic. I'm happy that, again, spoiler, and I don't care, Rey and Santos won. Because I don't care for Santos or Dominic. So I watched it, but I would have to give that match a 1. And I'm not acknowledging the bloodline. The next match after that was brother versus brother. Main event, Jey Uso taking on older brother Jimmy Uso. And that was coming up a long time since Jey left the bloodline, trying to get Jimmy to come with him. Jimmy was not having it. And it was like super kick mania during that match between those two. I don't feel sorry for Jimmy, but kind of do, due to the fact is he really hasn't been winning as much as Jey. And this is almost like Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy all over again, in my opinion. But if I have to rate that, it was decent. I got 3.5 stars. And the victor on that is Jey. He came out victorious against his brother. Yeet. The next match was Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi taking on Damage Control, Asuka, Kairi Singh, and Dakota Kai. Those 3 girls of Damage Control were looking to get some hurt done for all the shit that they put at least Bianca through. And Jade, she was fabulous in the Royal Rumble, eliminating Nia Jax. So that's power right there. With Bianca, that's another power. I don't like Naomi. And the funny thing on that one is, Naomi is married to Jimmy, so she came out after her husband. So Jade, Bianca, and Naomi won. So at least one married couple won. Then comes the most interesting one. I don't have the current look, but this is Gunther versus Sammy for the Intercontinental title. the ring general versus the underdog. I gotta give props. That 6-person tag match, damage control and all that. Two stars. So I'm delaying on those. Intercontinental title match. The ring general Gunther versus the underdog Sami Zayn. Man, I was rooting for Sami. Sami was due. After being with the Bloodline, coming close of beating Roman Reigns for the title. I think it was Elimination Chamber, I'm not sure. Get back to me on that, please, guys. But Sami came close. Sami is a great competitor. And congratulations to Sami. He beat Gunther, ending his 666-day reign as champion. That was a chop fest and a half. It was chops everywhere. So I have to give that match a 3. Then we come to the main event of night 1. The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. If Cody and Seth won, it's going to be a straight up one-on-one match. No bloodline interference whatsoever. Cody will get his one-on-one with Roman. But if Rock and Roman won, bloodline rules. So I was looking forward to this match. I was rooting for Seth and Cody. But then all of a sudden it just took a real twist turn during the match. The ref started counting. Standard 10 count outside the ring. Until Rock opened his mouth. Told him if he counts, tell the ref. If he counts, the ref is fired. If the ref counted, he's fired? Rock, you don't have any say to that because, in my opinion, you're a worthless punk-ass bitch with a midlife crisis. And you're saying you're the final boss? No. You don't even have a specific title dealing with TKO. You're just a member of the board. You're nothing. You're just a pawn on the board. You're not even a executive president, vice president, whatever. You're nothing like that. You're just a pawn. You're just a member of the board. You're not a so-called boss. So you want me to acknowledge you, Rock and Roman? There's my acknowledgement. The sad thing is, when it's all said and done, that match ended with Rock and Roman winning, making it Bloodline rules match for the undisputed Universal title on night 2. So if I had to rate that one, I would have to give that one a 4. 4 stars. Now, we go to night 2. And it was Seth freaking Rollins after his brutal match on night 1, main event. Had to start off night 2. Again, I don't have them. I have mine versions that I'm using to represent them. His world heavyweight title. Seth freaking Rollins had to defend his world title to start night 2 against Drew McIntyre. I mean, don't get me wrong. Drew earned his spot, earned the opportunity to face Seth when he won. I believe he won the Elimination Chamber. So, good for you, Drew. Can't stand you either, Mr. Crybaby. Throw a set of balls and quit whining. And quit hurting people and taking them out just because you're not getting your own way. He started the match with a Claymore. I'm like, really? We're going to pull this Daniel Bryan and Sheamus WrestleMania kick 18 seconds to crown a new world champion? Well, luckily that didn't happen. Personal commentator was one of my favorite wrestlers, still is CM Punk. It was nice to see him on Mania, just not wrestling because he's trying to recover after what Drew did to him at the Royal Rumble. So, that match, I would have to give 3, the way Seth was. And then Drew finally won. He finally beat Seth Rollins. Until he gets in the face of CM Punk. Punk beats the living shit out of him. And then here comes Priest with the briefcase, cashes in, gives him the South of Heaven, I believe it is. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Pins Drew. 1, 2, 3. So now we have another new world champion. And I had a feeling it was going to happen because Priest lost the tag titles on night 1 to Austin Theory and Grayson Waller of the SmackDown brand, and then Awesome Truth for Raw. So he was a little bit mad, guaranteed, so he was going to cash in and take this. Which, honestly, I'm surprised he didn't wait towards the end to cash in on Cody, with Roman and Cody's match. But it makes sense because Judgment Day is on Raw, and the world title is Raw. So that makes sense, so he can stay with his family. Then we go to Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus Final Testament. I'm not a fan of any of these groups, so I still watched. And it was a Philadelphia street fight. Whoopee. And the best part about it, had a guest referee who happened to be Bubba Ray Dudley. Now that was awesome. So that match, I'll give him a decent 2. A 2-star for the Philadelphia street fight. Which Bobby and Street Profit are victorious. Then we come to LA Knight and AJ Styles. They were butting heads for weeks, trying to get one up over the other and all this, from what I can remember watching. Because I'm always working out, I really have time to watch. So with that match, I was intrigued. I give that match also a 3. And LA Knight is victorious at Mania 40. There we go. So then, after that, we have Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul. Again, I do have this title, It's in storage right now, so I'm using what sources I have to do this for the U.S. title. And I find it funny. Logan Paul's all high and mighty. Whoopee on a prime truck coming to the ring. Big deal. I'm not a big Logan Paul fan. He just needs to lose the title and go back to being a YouTuber, boxing. Get out of WWE. Quit being a part-time champion and all this. Just leave. Then they announce Kevin Owens. He goes towards the back and brings out a golf cart. So he's on his way down to the ring. And they are announcing Randy. He backs up and gives Randy Orton a lift to the ring. And they just started off them trying to one-up each other, loading off on Logan Paul. That was awesome. I was actually rooting for Kevin Owens to win the United States title so he could be champion with his buddy Sammy on Raw as the Intercontinental Champion. That would have been awesome. So, but sadly, Logan Paul retained the United States title. All in all, 3. Now this next match is for the women's title, Io Sky's. And I called this when I watched, not Mania, sorry, this is what I'm doing a review. When I watched the Royal Rumble, and Bayley entered number 3, like I told my mom, watch. I will be amazed if Bayley wins and she will face Io Sky at Mania. And sure enough, that's what happened. My mom sat here and said I could write this. I'm like, yeah, well, I can't send anything in to WWE because they are not accepting storylines, anything like that. I looked into it. They do not want any fans interacting with storylines, character build-up, nothing like that. So I'm just guessing on my predictions and all this. So, Io Sky versus Bayley. And yeah, like I said, I'm using resources for the WWE Women's title. And it's been a while since you actually seen this one. This one is for my channel. And it needs work. It desperately needs work. And I was rooting for Bayley. I was sick and tired of Damage Control. Once Bayley was gone, I'm stoked. I'm happy. I'm kind of sad because she no longer has her friends backing her up and all this. But what was nice, Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane stayed in the back, stayed away for this match. So I'm happy for that. To make it a one-on-one, how Bayley deserves it. She deserved to have a one-on-one for the title. And it was awesome. Bayley was fighting hard. Io Sky giving it her all as well. It was just a seesaw back and forth. That was a great match. I enjoyed it. I was rooting for Bayley. Don't get me wrong, I was giving Io Sky props when it was due. I'll give her that. But at the end of the night, Bayley became the new women's champion. And then on night 1, the whole Rock and Roman and all that match, that was more like a Bloodline Rules match as it was. Since the Rock was pulling his weight. Pulling the whole card of, if you do this, you're fired bullshit. Then it comes Roman Reigns and Cody. I don't have this belt at all. I wish I did. I want it. But this is the closest thing I have to it, which honestly is. And it's been a while since you've seen this one too. It's for the undisputed WWE Undisputed Universal title. And like I said, this is the closest thing to it. Roman Reigns defending it in a bloodline rule match against Cody. And this feud's been going on since last year. Cody came up short. And if you have not seen 30, I'm sorry to spoiler, but he came up short because he supposedly took his eye off the ball. No. He did not take his eye off the ball. Solo came out and Samoa spiked him. Roman, I hate to say this, but if it wasn't for your so-called family, you would not have been champion for 3.5 years with your reign at, I think they said 1,316. If it wasn't for your cousins, family, and all this, you would have lost the title a long time ago. And I'm not a Roman Reigns fan. I'm not a Tribal Chief fan. This is what I think of you, Roman. Now you just need to leave WWE and take care of your leukemia. I understand that you have it, so you're not a bad guy. Just go get your health back in check. Just go take care of your health. I understand that they probably came back, so go take care of your health and go do movies to be a little safer and all this to not take a big old toll on your body. So the match was going back and forth and all this. Roman thought was getting cocky, like he always does. And he thought he hit Cody with the crossroads, if I'm not mistaken. He said that was stupid. He knew it wasn't going to work. Well, eventually, here comes Jimmy, coming to save Roman Reigns yet again. Nope. Who comes out? Jay. Jimmy starts running up the ramp. They have a feud. Jay spears Jimmy right off the ramp and through some tables. Yeet! Way to go, Jimmy. Nope, not Jimmy, Jay. Jay is yeet. Jimmy's no yeet. So that was good. And eventually, here comes the enforcer, Solo Sikoa. Great. Samoan Spike Spear combo. Roman retains again. No. Cody kicks out. He's fighting. Who comes out? Who has a problem with Solo? John Cena comes out and whoops Solo Sikoa's ass. And gives him an attitude adjustment through the announce table. Then after that, who comes out? The final boss. The People's Champion, The Rock. Oh, pfft. Go back to Hollywood, Rock. Mr. Build muscles and can't wrestle anymore because your muscles are too fat. You can't even wrestle because your muscles are too big. You can't even move. You're walking down the ring like you got something stuck up your ass. And then you get sidetracked with the Shield's music. And my first thought was, I called this. I thought it was going to be Dean Ambrose. No, it was Seth.